Hey guys, what's up? So look, in today's video, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about what is the difference between a web designer who makes $100,000 a year and a web designer who makes $1 million a year. Now you might think those are crazy figures. They are pretty big figures. I want to break it down in this video. I know people in both of these groups. I want to show how they do it, how they got there, and maybe how you can too. So if you're ready to go, let's jump into it. If you have any questions, just let me know down below, and I have some resources and links to read up on people in both of these groups down below as well. So let's get into it. $100,000 web designer. What exactly is a person like that? You know, what are they doing? How does the business look? What skills do they have? These sort of things. So I'm going to split it up. I'll break down 100,000 first, then I'll look at $1 million. So 100,000 web designer on average. I mean, this is a pretty obvious figure. They're doing about 10,000 a month. I know that's like the most obvious thing to start with, but you'll see where I'm going with this. So $10,000 per month. How are they making this? Now, a web designer, there's obviously a few different ways to get to $100,000 a month, but in general, they're going to have certain skills. They're going to be good at selling to get these sort of projects in the first place. They're going to be good at delivering value. So what I mean by that is not just the website itself. You know, that's only a very small part. It's what the website is getting for the businesses, for the clients that they're working with. For someone to pay a web designer like this, not an entry-level web designer who's just, you know, setting up WordPress themes or basic websites. For someone to pay a web designer, you know, maybe one project, $10,000, a month-long project, they're getting more for their clients than just the website. It's about how that website helps the business, how it generates sales, solves big problems, gets them big solutions that they want. So my catch-all kind of word for this is value, that what they're building is worth a lot to the businesses that they're building it for. Now, what other skills are they going to have in here? Probably they're going to be offering one or two different types of services. Maybe, and this is how I structured my web design business when I did it, it was a lot of cash up front for just like a big web design project by itself. Or maybe they have other things where they're offering ongoing services like SEO or email marketing or ad campaigns or maintenance plans or something. So it might be a mix of ongoing work and let's just say one-off big projects. I'm also going to say for someone generally like this, and I can do a separate video just on this if you guys want, let me know in the comments. But for someone like this as well, they're probably going to have a system, or not a system, but like a network of referrals, of warm leads, of past clients that they've got amazing results for, a network, you know, maybe like a BNI, a business network or something. It's unlikely that someone at this level, maybe they did in the beginning, but at this level to sustain themselves at this level, it's unlikely that they're going out and cold prospecting each time. At this point, when you get to $100,000 a year, usually you have a network of people built up that know you, trust you, you've gotten them great results, and you're using, not in a bad way, but you're leveraging that group of people in one way or another to get more sales. You're talking about them in an ad campaign. You're reaching out to their connections, like using them as warm leads for referrals. You're using them as case studies that you bring somewhere else and you show those case studies to people. But you, in general, are going to have a group of people that you helped, good relationships with those people, and very clear proof that people can trust you and that you're worth this amount of money. So, you know, in general, I know I'm going pretty fast here. $100,000 web designer, they're going to be good at selling. They're going to be amazing at delivering value. They're going to make up this money, you know, it really depends on the designer, ongoing work, big one-off projects, and they're going to have really good relationships and connections. They look after the people who pay them this sort of money, get them great results, you know, deliver a great service, great communication, and that helps them get more clients. Now, the exact specifics, like, you know, what sort of projects, how much, really depends. Some web designers might make this up with volume where they do a lot of projects, you know, 4, 5, 6,000, and they're doing 1, 2, you know, 3 projects a month. Or it might be big projects where you're doing like a $20,000 project, a $15,000 project, maybe like a $40,000 project, and you're only doing a couple of projects a year. Other people, and I'll link to this below as well, might be making a lot of money off the ongoing stuff where they do a couple of one-off projects, but they do a lot of like ongoing SEO work or something like that. Check out the links for details on that. So that's it for 100,000 web designer. I want to move into the $1 million web designer. Now, what's the difference here? Are these people doing 10 times what these people are doing? Do they have 10 times the amount of clients? Do they, you know, sell websites at 10 times the price? Do they have a team of 10 people doing this each individually? Usually, no. It's just too hard, to get to 100,000. It's possible to do this. I don't want to say quite easy, but the maths are relatively straightforward. If you can get to a point where you're selling websites at 10,000 a piece or close, you only need one project a month to get to $100,000 a year. But to get to $1 million, to scale that is very, very hard. You'd have to do a crazy amount of work yourself and be a ridiculously high paid web designer to make it $1 million by yourself. The other way, if you build a team of people, it's very, very tricky. You're going to need 10, 20 people, like a full sales team. It's very, very hard to do it that way. So how are web designers who were $100,000 web designers or close, how are they transitioning into $1 million web designers? And where are these $1 million web designers? How would you find someone out there to kind of prove that it's possible? Basically what happens is when people get to this sort of level, maybe close to this level, maybe this, exactly 100,000 a year or over $100,000 a year, and they want to take their business further, they start seeing that with web design itself, it's probably going to be very, very hard, maybe even not possible, and that it's better to use what they're learning here and apply it in a different way to get to $1 million. So instead of doing, 10 times here, just over here, which doesn't really work, what they do instead is they look at the skill sets that they have here, they look at the knowledge, what they've been learning, what they've been seeing, and then they use those skill sets in a different way to transition. So the skill sets, just to kind of put them out here again, I would say the big skill sets that someone who got to this point is going to already have. They know how to sell, they know how to create value, they're aware of what people need and what people want, like marketplace needs. And what I mean by that is not just what their clients need, but also because they're building the websites for their clients, what their clients' customers need. So they've gotten very, very good at seeing but what their clients need and how to sell to their clients, and then their clients' clients or customers, how, what those people need and how to sell to those people as well. So they've gotten very good at spotting the needs of people, how to sell, and how to deliver a lot of value, how to just give people what they want in a high value way, in an easy way, an effective way, a good sales system for delivering a product or a service, whatever it is. Now, what other skills are these people going to have, or what other assets are they going to have? Because they've gotten to this point, they probably have pretty good cash flow and a good experience. And then they're also going to have the web skills themselves as well. They know how to do, obviously, the basics of coding, setting up a website, creating traffic, getting people to leave the website into some sort of sales system, a booking form, a contact form, ring a phone number, whatever it is. So web skills. So what these people do in general, and this is how they kind of transition from this stage to this stage, is they take these skills and they take them someplace else other than web design. They have all the experience, they have the mindset, they have these different skill sets, and they go off and they start looking at the marketplace in general. Outside of web design, they start seeing, what could I apply the skill set to? Where is there a need in the marketplace where people are looking for something, they can't get it in the way that they wanted to get it, or it's just not there at all? And how could I go in with these skill sets and build something that can get to this sort of level, that can deliver basically so much value that they're bringing back in $1 million a year. Now, what exactly do these people do? A lot of different stuff. E-commerce, offline businesses, different products, different services, different software, different business models, those sort of things. Really, there's a lot of different people. I'm going to link to it below and kind of get a discussion going on this. But for these web designers who get to $1 million or much more per year, they're not doing it through web design, but they did start in web design. They used this experience over here, getting to this point, to build up all these skill sets. They learned how to sell, deliver value, communicate with people, build great systems, build great websites, go out there and generate traffic, get that traffic onto a website, get it to convert in one way or another to some form of action. And they have a lot of experience in the marketplace, seeing how, the marketplace is a pretty general term, but seeing why people buy, what they're looking for, what sort of products they value, what sort of services they want, what sort of things would make people buy, what are they looking for, what needs are out there that aren't being met, what would people be motivated to buy, these sort of things. So they have a lot of experience over here, but to take it further with this business model, starts to not make that much sense once you get past the $100,000 mark. It just gets harder and harder to scale a web design business because it's so time intensive for whoever it is. So either you're going to do all the work, which gets to a lot of work after $100,000, or you're going to hire a team of people and manage that team of people. And the more you get past $100,000, the more of a team you're going to need, the more management, the more clients in general to look after, the more sales issue, staff issue, communication issue, all this stuff. But people who get to this point, they're obviously pretty, working hard in the first place. They have the skill set. They've been taking action. They start to see that, hold on, these people, this is how they're thinking. They can deliver so much value for their clients over here. What if instead of continuously working on other people's businesses, they actually just take all these different skills and create their own business separate to web design, maybe in some ways still connected to web design, like a product for web designers or some sort of service or whatever. But usually separate to web design. They go out there into the marketplace and they see, okay, in this niche, people are looking for this sort of thing. They're not getting it the way that they want it. And I have the skills. I can set up a website around a business. I can get out there, SEO or ads. I can find the people who are looking for this. I can have a website that tells them, about this product or service, shows them that they can trust it, show them that this is their best option, show them how to take action. And they basically turn these skill sets, they apply them to a business, and they're just going to do really, really well usually because they're competing against other business owners who don't have these skill sets to that same level. A web designer who's been out, for probably a couple of years, maybe at this stage, at the least 1 or 2 years, they've been working with a lot of different clients, seeing a lot of different businesses, what these business owners are doing, what they're doing well, what they could be doing better, what these business owners say about the inner workings of their business, their different approaches, strategies, mindsets, selling techniques, all this different stuff. They've been accumulating all this knowledge, all this skill set, all this valuable perspective from different business owners. They go over here, they create their own business, and they just have it already kind of dialed in. They know what to do, they know how to set it up, they know how to compete in a very effective way against whoever else is in their niche. So, to kind of start wrapping this up, the web designers who go on to make this big money, like this life-changing money at this amount, they get to this point, and this is what I recommend for anyone who's getting into web design, no matter what stage you're at. They don't see web design as the final way to do it, like as in, okay, this is what I'm going to do for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years. They see web design as a starting point to build up these skill sets, to build up cash flow, experience, all these different sales skills, how to create value, how to make a website that actually gets results rather than it just looks well, it's like a fancy design. They focus on learning from the business owners that they're working with, seeing what they're doing, seeing how it's effective in the different niches. And then as they get better and better at this, and as they get, their confidence is rising, they get more cash flow, they start looking at over here. How do I use this to set this up for myself? How do I become, instead of a freelancer, how do I become a business owner and apply all these skill sets that I know? How to look at something and see potential there, see things that people want, that they could create a product, a service, some sort of offering, a software thing, whatever it is. They look at that and they're keeping their eyes out all the time, paying attention to the marketplace, what's going on, different changes that are happening, a lot of changes right now. And these people basically take all of this and jump in over here. And sometimes they jump in straight away, sometimes they kind of do both at the same time, kind of transition it out. But they use all these skill sets and they get going and they set up these business models that wouldn't have been possible if they had started straight away, because they would have needed the things from over here. So this time was well spent. But when they jump in and start transitioning to this, they're ready to go. They have the experience and the skills, they have the cash flow, they have the perspective, the market awareness and experience, and then they apply it to these other areas, and they do very, very well in general because they know what they're doing and they know how to do it. So yeah, kind of a bit of a ramble video, but I wanted to share just this to get you thinking, to motivate you with your time in web design. This channel, I obviously teach getting into web design, how to get started, but my end goal is not that you become a web designer forever and you're always a freelancer and you always have to be working to make that next dollar. It's really to spend this time building up these skill sets, getting that experience, getting that confidence, and then looking at, okay, how do I use this for long-term wealth and whatever freedom means to you? Maybe you want to free up a lot of time. Maybe you want to be one of these people who builds a massive business worth, tens of millions. Maybe you want to do some life-changing, product or service, whatever it is. That's really what your goal should be with web design. Not to stay forever over here, but to get to that level where you're ready to go, and then you use web design to create your own business on top of that. So that's it for this video. I'm gonna start showing more of this content on the channel in the future, breaking it down, maybe even bringing in people, interview them and have a look at these sort of business models. And then people who are in this stage as well, who are ready to move, how they got to this stage in the first place. But yeah, let me know what you think about this video. Hit me up with any comments down below. I'm gonna have some resources, so check those out. And I hope that this gets you thinking and thinking bigger than web design. I love web design. I did it myself for quite a few years. I still do some websites, but the best way to approach web design is not as a final stop on your progression with entrepreneurship, with business, but rather as a starting point where you use it, and web design is so good for this, use it to get all this business experience, get the cash flow, get the skills, and then jump to that next level. Start setting up something that has long-term potential at a much higher scale, that just is going to be an easier business model to get well over $100,000. So that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts below. Catch you in the next video. Hit like if you got value from this, and if you want to, subscribe to the channel. So thanks. See you in the next video.